one of the things is that people forget about David Hume. David Hume talked about the limits of our knowledge. And that's what's important to me, is to look at that fact. Because everybody claims to know things. I was just thinking about this thing called the Dunning-Kruger effect. And what it really is, what the Dunning-Kruger effect really is like when people think that they know something. They think that they're good at something, and they just know it. They know they're good at it. And you can't tell them they're not good at it. And they walk around with tremendous confidence, and they do things, and they just do things, and they do things, and they're completely incompetent. They have no idea of how incompetent they really are, how lacking in knowledge and understanding of things that they do, that they really are. You see this a lot on YouTube. People get up and they make videos, and they'll talk about some topic that they know nothing about. They'll make some philosophical point and they don't understand anything about philosophy. One thing I've learned is to stick to what I know and be true to things. There was something I was thinking about this morning when I got up. And I thought about a very simple fact, that I've always applied this in my life, is be true to your philosophy. Say what you actually do. Live your philosophy. If you preach it, you live it. If you're going to say it, you live it. That's a simple rule. You don't have to go to a philosophy class. You don't have to go to the library and get every book of every philosopher there is. Just be true to what you say. If you say it because you know from experience, because you live that way. One of my favorite philosophers is William James, the pragmatist. Because pragmatism is an interesting thing. I think that William James would probably say, if he were alive right now, he would probably say that pragmatism really shouldn't even be looked at as a philosophy. Because it really isn't a philosophy. It's just basically looking at things for what they really are. It's looking at the way things really work. In the everyday world, we have to be practical. There are decisions you have to make for right now. What is going to be the thing in the future? You don't know. Because you don't know what new facts are going to come in. You don't know what new information is going to come in and how it's going to be. You don't know what that's going to be. You have to take everything that you have right now and you have to make decisions based on what you understand right now. That's one thing I kind of realize is true about things in life. Most people are very idealistic. I think that's the key to understanding all this. People are very idealistic. This is true whether we're talking about religion or anything else. People have these ideologies of how they think things ought to be. And so they preach about that and they stomp their feet and they slam their fists on the table and say, well, everybody should think this way and everybody should think this way and people shouldn't believe this or people should believe that or everybody should be scientific and people shouldn't be religious or whatever. But they don't stop to think that there are limits. One of the reasons why I like David Hume, because David Hume looked at things and said that, look, these are the limits. There's a limit to what we can know and there's a limit to what we can claim to know. But see, the thing is, the one thing that opened up in my mind was that, okay, there are things you can't claim as knowledge. However, when it comes to belief, you can believe what you want to. You're free to believe. And this is one of the things I think about. This is like William James is kind of like the second part of David Hume, as far as I'm concerned. Other people might think different, and that's okay. But the thing is that what William James says, yes, believe. Because in many ways in our lives, when we believe something, we actually create facts of reality based on our beliefs. What he said that, what he said, one of his famous quotes is that if you believe that life is worth living, your belief will help to create that fact. And I think that that's true. You create facts from what you believe. He gives lots of examples of that, of where believing something literally creates a fact. Certain facts can't even exist unless there's a belief that happens first. And there is that relationship between facts and belief. There is a relationship between the two things. Now, a lot of people look at beliefs as being stupid and silly because a belief is something that's not certain, it's not absolute. But you know, many things can't be absolute. Our knowledge of the world, of the universe, is always going to be incomplete. And because it's incomplete, we can never have an absolute understanding of things. We can't know everything. We can't know what new facts are going to come in that's going to change what we thought we knew. People might have been absolutely certain that the earth was not moving and that the sun was going around it. They were absolutely sure that that was the case. And then someone discovered some new information that proved that that wasn't true. What appeared to be true wasn't actually true. See, the big problem is that we all of us are caught in this thing called naive realism. Naive realism basically tells us that everything is exactly the way it appears. If we go outside, we look out, and we see that the ground is flat. As far as you can go, it's just flat. You know, if you live in an area where it's flat, you know. But, you know, you would come to the conclusion, just based on what you're taking in through your senses, that the earth is flat. But we know that that's not true. We know that things aren't what they appear to be. It appears that the earth isn't moving. But you know, the earth is moving around the sun at a speed of about 66,000 miles per hour, or 18.5 miles a second. But that doesn't appear to be true. It is true, but it doesn't appear to be true. You know, if you've ever been in an airplane, you know, you could be in a jet airplane like this 747. I had to throw my model airplane. You know, here's the thing. You're going at about close to 600 miles an hour, about 570 miles per hour. And it doesn't feel like you're going that fast. You know, it doesn't really feel like it. But you know it's true. In many ways, we understand that reality isn't just the way things appear. And I have this quote that I always use from Einstein. I remember reading this article, and I just thought, when I saw that line written in there, I thought, wow, that's powerful. And he said that reality is the way things are, but the way things appear is not the way things are. And you have to look at things that way. Understand that reality isn't the way things appear. It really isn't. And a lot of people want to keep things, they want to preserve certain ideals they have about things. Now, I was talking about before about ideology, where people become idealistic about things. They think about things, about this perfect world and perfect ways and perfect everything. It never works. When you try to put that into practice, it doesn't work. It's just like with communism. You know, Karl Marx's ideal of making everything where there would be this perfect, even distribution of wealth. It doesn't work. It hasn't worked in China. It didn't work in the Soviet Union. It doesn't work anywhere. But that's all I have to say about that. I'm not going to get into a whole bunch of political things and philosophical things. I just wanted to say something, because I haven't said anything in a while on this channel. And that's all. Just rambling on.